So on to the next.
So our next topic involves a very famous basketball player named LeBron James. And all of you who follow basketball know that LeBron James is referred to often as King James. And so King James was also the subject of a trademark that was filed by Carnival Cruise Line. And Carnival fought for this trademark for King James, presumably for ships, right? And they fought for it for over 15 months. And the day after it was granted, LeBron James filed a trademark opposition to it, claiming that he had superior rights to the King James name. So within 3 or 4 days of filing this opposition, Carnival just completely dropped the trademark. And I guess it's because they didn't really want to get into a public spat with LeBron James, right? So I think it's kind of an interesting case because even though legally Carnival may have been entitled to the trademark, they realized that the common sense decision was avoiding a fight with King James. So that's
with James LeBron. Yes. So there's a couple points I want to bring up for people that don't know a lot about trademarks. One is, what is an opposition and how do you use it quickly?
So an opposition is just at the end of the trademark registration process, after the examiner grants the trademark, somebody can file a paper at the trademark office to contest that registration, which is what LeBron James did. And if it goes on, then it's like a little mini trial at the trademark office. And so hopefully, if you've done a good trademark search, then you'll know that there are other actors out there that could potentially file an opposition, and you just have to be prepared either to fight or you have to look for a name that's not going to cause problems.
And if you want to file one, you have to know the registration came through and you have only 30 days, right?
Right. And so there's companies that monitor trademarks that get granted from the trademark office. And if something's too close to your mark, then you'll be able to see it. And then if you want to file an opposition, you can do that too.
So that's point one. So point two, we don't know if LeBron James had a trademark. Let's just say he did, just for the sake of argument. How could two different entities get the same trademark?
Well, it does happen all the time. So if it's a famous mark, and we would assume that LeBron James's name is famous, just like Coca-Cola is famous, they give wider scope of protection to trademarks that are famous than marks that are not famous. And so if it's a less famous mark, you can have the same mark for different types of goods or services. So the famous case about this is Lexus versus Lexus, Lexus for cars versus Lexus for legal services. It's a database. And the court ruled that even you can have the same name, but as long as they're for different goods and they don't, and they travel in different channels of commerce. So the point is that if you are thinking about registering a trademark, you really need to get with a patent professional who can walk you through all of these things, and so that you have a high chance of being successful. And the other moral of the story is don't fight with King LeBron James. So there you go.